So these are different type of inheritance. We have single level inheritance, we have multiple inheritance, we have hierarchical inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. So this is an example of simple inheritance or single level inheritance, where we have only one base class and there is only one derived class. And multiple inheritance, this is a multiple inheritance. So multiple basis classes are there on only one derived classes. Then we have hierarchical inheritance. So this is an example of hierarchical inheritance, where we have one base class and there are different child or the derived classes. Then we have multi-level inheritance. So this is an example of multi-level inheritance, where we have one base class, then another base class for the derived class, and this base class is called intermediate class. And then we have hybrid inheritance. So hybrid inheritance is the example of multiple inheritance and hierarchical inheritance. So A, B, C, what is the relationship between class A, class B, and class C? So it is a hierarchical relationship or hierarchical inheritance. And B, C, and D, what is the relationship between B, C, and D? So it will be called multiple inheritance, right? So it is a combination of multiple inheritance and hierarchical inheritance. Okay, that is called hybrid inheritance. It is also called multi-path inheritance. Multi-path kaise? So from A we can go to D via B, and from A to D we can go via C. So we have two paths available. We can go via B as well as we can go via C. So this is also called multi-path inheritance. Which one? Hybrid inheritance. So hybrid inheritance is the combination of, as I told you, multiple inheritance and hierarchical inheritance. But this type of scenario where we have multiple paths to go from the very base class to the derived class, if we have multiple paths, that comes under the category of multi-path inheritance. Okay. So one of the category of hybrid inheritance could be called multi-path inheritance. Okay, let's see. So in the last class we have seen this one, right? Simple inheritance. In this we have seen that how this protected, private, and public specifier works, right? So how it is going to work, about all those things we have seen in the last class, and I have already shared the video with you. Now today we'll see the second one, which is called multiple inheritance. So which is an example of multiple inheritance? This one, where we have multiple base classes and there is only one derived class. Multiple base class and only one derived class. Okay. So let's see with the help of one example, multiple inheritance. Okay, let's see this example. In this, there is a class M. Okay, one class is M. M has a protected data, which is M, small m. Okay, and it has the public function, which is get M. Get M will just take the value from the user or from the program and give it to value of M. So in that way, M will be initialized. Then there is a class N. Okay, so these two classes are independent class, and there is also a protected data N, and there is also a public function, public member function get N, and has the data Y, and the data of Y, whatever will give either with the help of the program or with the help of the user, it will given to N. Then you can see there is a class P. This class P is derived class, and it is derived from M and N. From both the classes it has been derived. And how it has been derived? It has been derived publicly. So public specifier has been used to inherit inherit from the class M and from the class N. Then in this, we have only one function, which is the public function, display function. And this display function will take the data of class M, which is a base class N, which is also a base class, and it will take the data of M and N, and it will just multiply it, and it will just give you output. So it will just show you that how we can find it out, the private data or the protected data of class M and N. So what is the difference between protected and the private? So the private cannot be inherited, but protected can be inherited. But all the property of private will be there with the protected specifier. And what is the difference? The difference is only that private cannot be inherited, but protected can be inherited. And after that, only derived class object has been created. Then with the help of derived class, we can calling the function of class M. Then we are calling the function of class N with the help of, again, derived class. And with the help of derived class object, we'll calling the function of its own. And then it will be called. So let's see with the help of, we'll try to understand this program with the help of analysis. So you can see what we have. So what we have class M and we have class N, right? These two classes are base classes, and P is derived from M and N. P is derived from M and N. Means this is an example of multiple inheritance. How multiple inheritance? Means there is class M, there is class M, and there is class N. These two classes are the base classes, and from that, from both the classes, class P has been derived. Getting it? So how it has been derived? We have written class P, which is derived from public M, comma, public N. Right? We have written this to derive class P. So P is the derived class, M and N are the base class. This is an example of multiple inheritance. Got it? Now let's see what happened in the program. So in the program, I told you the execution of the program will be done from the main. So we'll start from the main. What is the first line on the main? One object has been created. The object name is P, small p. So one object is created. And this particular object. So when we do that, what is coming under P? Under P, what is coming? So you can see that when we are doing this, so what is inside P? Inside P, there is a public part. Inside the public part, there is a display function, right? But when we are publicly defining M, so what will happen is this M will be copied here in P. This N will be copied here in P. This get M will be copied here in P. That get N also can be copied in here in P. So in P, what is the actual scenario? The scenario is in the protected part. In the protected part, we have M, we have N, right? And in the public part, what we have? We have get M function, we have get N function, and we have its own display function. This function is already the part of P. But what are the extra thing that is coming? So this is the extra thing, this is the extra thing, this is the extra thing, and this is the extra thing. So how it is coming? It is coming from M and N. And we have defined it publicly. So whatever is in the protected part will be go into the protected part. Whatever in the public part will go to the public part. Okay, so how I'll get to know? I'll get to know with this particular uh, thing. Like last time we have seen, if we are deriving publicly, then what will happen? If we are deriving publicly, then what will happen? The protected part will go to the protected, and the public part will go to the public. Getting it? So when we have derived it publicly, so definitely protected part will be in a protected, public part will be go to public. Got it? Now once we'll create the object of small p, this is a small p, and this is of class capital P. So what is coming under this object? Here we have M and we have N. Getting it? Why we have M and N? So you can see what is in the class P. Class P we have M and N. We have get M function, get N function, and display function. Now after that, what we are doing in the program, we are calling the get M function by giving the value 10. We are calling get M function by, so get M function is here inside. So we can call with the help of P dot get M we can do, and 10 we are writing it. So let's see what get M is doing. Get M is taking the value. So 10 will be given to X and 10 will be assigned to M. So this M will be assigned the value 10. Now after that, the P is calling get N with value 20, right? So what it is doing, it is taking the value to Y, and this means 20 is coming here, 20 will be given to N. This 20 is coming here and 20 will be given to N. Getting it? So this is what happen when we call these two function, and then it will call the display function. What display function is doing? It is giving you the value of M, giving you the value of N, and giving you the value of M into N. So what will be the output? The output will be the value of M. M it is going to print 10, N it is going to print 20, and M into N it is going to print, means it will just multiply it. So we have 200 as output. So this will be the output that is giving by this particular program. So we'll just run it. See, the value of M it is giving 10, N it is giving 20, M into N it is giving 200. So वही हमारा भी output था, right? M, N, and 200, right? So I think you understood the example of multiple inheritance. This is the example of multiple inheritance.